Cheers, man.
Cheers.
You know, Uragasumi is
I
one of
like
my
this.
favorite ones.
Yeah, I was trying to find one that was less Junmai.
Yeah. But this is Junmai shu, but it's not ginjo, so it's got a lot of other taste in it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually one of the first sakes that I tried, that I really liked. So this is actually one of my go-tos.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm glad then.
Yeah. When you saw it, I thought you picked it on purpose, but
really,
yeah, I'm glad you picked it.
I mean, I'm not super familiar with the kanji, but you know, I had my phone out with Google Translate. I was kind of looking at the various things, and this one seemed like something I'd like. So
let me just double check. I want to see when this was bottled. Oh, so this was bottled about 2 months ago. Yeah, it tastes like that. So the best ones are when they're like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Aged. Like that's my favorite flavor. So if you find one that's like 6 months before, that's the right one to get.
Interesting.
But yeah. Anyways, so today we are going to be talking about the noise in Japan. What is like, especially, well, I shouldn't say the noise in Japan. I should say the noise in Tokyo or the Kanto area.
Yes.
But
there's a very big difference between going to Tokyo and going out into the countryside.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so like for me, one of the things that really surprised me when I moved here was how everything has a noise to it.
Everything has a noise to it. Even so much, and there's a reason for this, but even so much like just taking a picture. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have to use my hands.
Yeah, use your hands, man.
Thank you. Taking a picture on your smartphone, if you buy like an iPhone or something from here, that even makes a sound.
Yeah. Well, you know why they do that, though, right?
It's so creeps are trying to take pictures of, you know, girls' underwear.
Yeah.
You know, people know.
Yeah.
But they probably still wouldn't say anything. But that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah. I think for me, like the thing that really hit it home to me, that especially in the Tokyo area, there's noise everywhere.
Yeah.
Was when I saw like a garbage truck or like a delivery truck go by and they turn on the turn signal and it says do 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 migi ni magarimasu gotsui kudasai boo doo boo doo. It's just like why do you need that?
There's the turn signal.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like it's funny because like when I'm just chilling here and I have the windows open, I can hear delivery trucks, and sometimes I'll hear do 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 do. Like, why?
They need to know you're turning right now, or they're turning right now.
What about for you? What's something that's like really surprising that it had noise for you?
So okay, I want to go through a couple of them because there's a couple of them that I really enjoy. Like I really like hearing that sound, but there's my biggest pet peeve as far as noise here, because neighborhoods are surprisingly very noisy here in Japan.
Okay.
Compared to when I was living in America, neighborhoods are relatively really quiet.
Yeah.
But here, typically in most neighborhoods here, they'll have like a truck that comes by usually every day, depending on where you live, that's like picking up like old appliances.
Oh, yeah, right.
And they just have these like giant speakers on the side. They're just like, hey, come give us your crap. Like, you know, and it's so obnoxious. Yeah. Especially, do they come by your neighborhood?
Yeah, of course.
So in my neighborhood, they come by at around 10 a.m.
Okay.
Which, admittedly, I should be awake by then.
Yeah.
But on days where maybe I have a heavy drinking night or something, and I'm just sleeping in, and that stupid truck comes by, oh god, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So that's a huge pet peeve. On the flip side of that, when you're going into train stations. And like I think we've talked about this a couple times, but I love the little jingles that are at each train station. Yeah, you know, it's funny because like when I go to a station that I haven't been to in a while, like the other day I went to Nakano station and I haven't been there in a while, you know. But when I listen to that jingle, it just reminds me of when I was a student living here. Yeah. And it takes me back to that time and I'm just like, oh man, this is so great. Yeah, man. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, but what I was so like for me, the kind of like the one of like the formative noise experiences I had when I first got here was getting off at Shibuya station.
I was just about to mention this.
And walking through the Sentagai, like the central road, because like they have music from the stores.
Yes.
They also have music coming from like the light posts. And they also have music from billboards coming in. So you have like 3 different points of music.
It's really disorienting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because they're usually playing like different sounds.
Yeah.
You know, one will be giving like an advertisement for something. One will be like playing like, you know, like the newest like music song or whatever. Wow. The newest
music song.
The newest, I can speak English.
It's okay.
But yeah, they'll be playing like the newest song. And then, you know, the other will just be like singing happy birthday to a random person, which I didn't even know that was a thing until recently.
What do you mean?
You can get like a little happy birthday song. They'll have like AKB48 like show up and like say happy birthday Arthur.
Really?
Yeah, in Shibuya.
You should do that for my birthday. I want to check that out. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably is insanely expensive.
Probably
but yeah,
is.
no, you can totally do it. Next time you go to Shibuya, just it's on like the coming out of the station. There's like this huge billboard to the right.
Oh yeah. Is it like that Staya and the Starbucks?
Yeah,
that thing.
And so like every couple minutes or something, they'll like blare out like happy birthday, whatever person, and then they'll like probably add in like the recording of them singing a birthday song. But
you know what's really funny for me, like just thinking about the noise stuff too, is I don't really, it's not here in Kawasaki, or at least the place that I live, but I remember in Nakano when I would walk through like the old town. So when I lived in Nakano, I lived in a place called Kami Takada, which is like between Nakano Station, Takada no Baba Station.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the older area. That's where the Seibu Shinjuku line goes. But there's this really old like Showa retro style downtown area, Shotengai area.
Yeah.
And
it's like really cramped alleyway, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and like I went down there during the afternoon one day and they were playing music.
Oh.
Like there were speakers attached to the lamppost and they were just playing music, and I've never experienced that before anywhere in my life.
Yeah.
Just like it's like the town has decided to put on background music for everyone.
Yeah. You know, Kamata does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you walk around, so the Kamata is obviously the place that's like kind of near where I live. And if you walk down kind of a little bit outside of the station, kind of where the shopping area is, they'll have music playing from the light posts. And they have holiday themed music. So during the summer, they play like Disney songs, kind of like imagine like 7-Eleven soundtrack.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, it's funny because I always wondered why it's like that, because at least in Boston and when I went to Seattle, you don't really have that so much, that background music. Like what, for you, like living from where you're from, what's kind of like the noisiest things get?
I mean, outside of like a construction zone or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean like the background music kind of stuff, like if you were compared
like
to Tokyo. Yeah.
Really don't have it. I mean, like the only thing I can think of is like back in Seattle, you would never see this here in Japan. If you're riding like the public bus, it's pretty common for some people to like just whip out and listen to music on their phone. Like, it's annoying, but it's just one of those things that's just accepted. You would never see that here.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the loudest, I would think, outside of like a sports event or a concert or that kind of thing.
Yeah, sometimes you'll have like people driving down the street and they'll be blaring music from their speakers with the windows down, making sure everyone hears it.
Okay, so I have to stop you there because there is a guy who I assume lives near me right now. And every day, he does not miss a day. Every single day, he has a Harley bike.
Okay.
And he rides his Harley bike down my street, blasting Billie Jean.
Really?
From Michael Jackson. It's exact same song every day. He does not miss a beat. And then, so usually he'll come once or twice a day. Yeah. So he doesn't always do this, but it makes me laugh thinking about it. So if he comes a second time, he'll come by playing like military marching music.
Okay.
Military marching music. It's like, imagine, like, have you ever heard like army marching music in the US?
Yeah.
It'll be American military marching music.
Really?
Yeah, and it changes. Like sometimes he'll do Navy, Army, like whatever. But he plays marching music while he's driving his Harley down.
It's so weird.
It's really weird. It's the exact same song. He plays Billie Jean every single day at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which I assume he's coming home from work.
Yeah.
And then occasionally he'll come by again playing marching music.
Huh. That's so weird.
It's like that's that dude's routine. It's the weirdest thing ever. But yeah, that just reminded me of someone
in Kamata, right?
So this is right next to my apartment. So I'm in Magome, which is like it's still really close to Kamata.
Yeah.
But
dude, it's
so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's funny because like in the like what you were mentioning before is, you know, in the States you have people with like their music on their phones or like these speakers playing, and they'll play them in the bus so that everyone can listen to it, or like while they're driving down the street.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you would never have that here, but you have like city sanctioned, please let's listen to this music now. You know?
Yeah.
One thing that was kind of weird for me too, I don't know if they have this where you are, probably not, but like around here, when it hits 5 o'clock, they'll play a chime.
The Go Home song.
Yeah, the Go Home song.
I love that song. See, so that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier, where there's sometimes I hear things and it's like, I love hearing that song every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think this is some psychological conditioning. Mm-hmm. You just hear it and you're just like, yes, okay, relax time.
Yeah.
But that song, it's close in my heart.
I remember the first time I heard that because like when I first got here, I was living by myself in this shoebox apartment. It was literally 110 square feet. And I remember I was working on my desk, or I should say I was sitting on the floor with like my small table thing when I was just like working on my computer, and then it hit 5 o'clock and I heard this chime all of a sudden. I'm like, what's happening? Is this like a bomb threat or something? Or like, is this an emergency thing? What's going on? And like, there was no announcement afterwards. So I was like, what's this music for?
Yeah.
You know?
But, yeah, man. It's you know, I think a big reason.
It's okay, man.
Some days you can speak English, some days you can't. A big reason why I like it is, so back when I was in the Marines, and this is not unique to the Marines, this is just military bases in general, they have music that plays in the morning and the evening. So in the morning they have Reveille, where it plays at 5 o'clock in the freaking morning, and then they raise the flag at exactly 8 o'clock, and there's music that plays, and then there's music that plays at somewhere around 5, and then at 10 p.m. And there's these little brackets of music, and you have to stop what you're doing, and like if you're in uniform, you have to salute and like look towards the flag and everything.
Well, if you're not in uniform, what do you do?
You just have to stop and stand.
Okay. Are you not allowed to salute the flag when you're not in uniform?
I don't know how other branches do it, but if you're in the Marines, you're not allowed to salute at all. If you're not in uniform. It's just like you'll get yelled at if you do.
Okay.
Like, what are you, an idiot?
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know why I really enjoyed that. It was just kind of like a moment to just stop and kind of take a break, and it just kind of reminds me of that.
Well, you know, I think a lot of it goes down to like Japan is traditionally a collectivist society where everyone is working as a group, and I mean in the army that's what you do. You lose your identity and you are a group, right? With your people.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because have you noticed how the pedestrian signs are always a man with a hat on?
Yeah.
I've only seen that in communist countries.
Really?
So like in Germany, you know, because Germany used to be East Germany and then regular West Germany, right?
Yeah.
So in the West Germany pedestrian sign was just a regular like circle for a head, nothing else. But the the East Germany signal had a guy with a hat on it that looks a lot like the Japanese pedestrian signal. And I don't know, but it's just, so like I know Japan's not communist, but like there's definitely aspects here where it's like everyone is coming together. I think that music is part of that, you know?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, obviously people work different shifts and everything, but generally speaking, like 5 o'clock is when your work ends and you go home.
So for you, was there any sort of like an experience related to like noise or music or something in Japan that was really strange for you that really surprised you, made you feel uneasy?
That really surprised me and made me feel uneasy. I mean, other than the guy driving a truck down the street trying to pick up appliances, probably not so much.
Okay.
Not that I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
So I remember back when I was living in Nakano, and sometimes you have this, but there was this truck going by, and I didn't hear I didn't know it was a truck. I just heard the noise because it was from inside of my apartment, and it was this recording of this woman saying, Takeo, Saodake.
Yeah.
Takeo. And I'm just like, what is that? And then I asked my friend, what is that? And it's like, oh, yeah, it's selling bamboo poles. And I'm like, it's a thing here, because traditionally people do that, I guess. But it's like, I guess like the old style of singing or announcing is something I'm not used to.
Yeah.
So just...
No, that's completely fair. They do the same thing near my apartment. I actually have another thing is I live across the street from a temple.
Oh, yeah, right.
And they don't do this every day, but it's usually like once a week on the weekend or something, like on Sunday. They'll play music and the priests and whoever's there will like chant, and they have the various sounds that are coming from there. And then they actually have like festivals sometimes there. So like, especially during the summer, there's a lot of noise. Oh my God, I just forgot what I was going to say.
Come on, man. Don't brain fart me here.
Yeah, no kidding. God, there was another sound that I wanted to talk about. All right.
While you're thinking about it, I'll talk about something that hit me. One thing that was really disorienting for me was walking down the street when a pachinko parlor door opens.
Oh, aren't those just the worst?
Yeah, it's weird because it's like back in the war, they tried to develop a sound gun that would stun people and like make them fall to jello and like on the battlefield or something. And I feel
they developed it.
Yeah, that's what. Because it's funny because it's like you're walking down the street, and then when this pachinko door opens, it's like a flood of like.
Yeah, it's just like high-speed anime music.
I know, and it's like I feel like everything goes in slow motion when I get hit by that, and it's like, I almost like can't. When I first got it, it was really shocking, and I just was like, "What's happening? What is this noise?" I got so distracted.
Yeah,
but it's funny. I've never actually walked into a pachinko parlor before. I'm a little bit too scared to do that, just because of like that noise.
Yeah, I've never been attracted to it. Okay, I just remembered what I was gonna say. So do you get like missile threats announced?
What?
No. Okay, so in downtown Tokyo, they will alert missile threats. So whenever North Korea launches a rocket, they do a big like speaker announcement across the entire city.
Wow.
And it'll be like, "Hey, North Korea just fired a missile over Hokkaido."
Wow.
That's all. And it's just like it was the most off-putting thing. Like I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
But it was the most off-putting thing. Like I think the first time, because it was like, I want to say it was like a few years ago when they started launching rockets again. And when I heard that, I was like, "Oh my God!
Yeah.
Should we do something?
Yeah, right.
Like, is there a place we're supposed to go for this?"
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh no, this happens all the time." It's like, why is everyone so chill about this?
I know.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so now it's like, I mean, however many times they shoot missiles over Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time it happens. Or another thing is there'll be like smog coming in from China.
Okay.
And they'll just be like, "Hey guys, there's a giant smog cloud coming in from China, and wear a mask if you go outside." And they'll just have announcements like that.
Wow.
And maybe that's a Tokyo only thing. I thought it was all over Japan, but
yeah, I mean, so the only time I've ever heard of like an announcement from the speakers is for like COVID. Please put on a mask.
Yeah.
And then I also heard like just a few years ago there was a really, really big typhoon and the Tamagawa River almost overflowed.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, dude, I was right there. I saw it. It was like 20 feet from overflowing, and I was freaking out. But at that time they're like, because of the typhoon, it's very dangerous. Please escape.
Please escape.
Or they say, "Hinan shite kudasai."
Yeah.
Please escape. It's like, but it was one thing. It's just really surprising to me, because like in the States, maybe because we're so individualistic, or maybe because everyone is so sparsely spread out.
Yeah.
But there's no sort of like municipal PA system.
Yeah. They do have it in older towns.
In older towns?
Yeah, in older towns, because I remember seeing a PA system very similar when I went back to my dad's hometown.
Where's that?
It's in like, I don't remember the name of it. It's in Oregon.
Oregon, okay.
It's
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, middle of nowhere, Oregon.
Okay.
They have the what's the one of the biggest planes ever built though. It's like the Spruce Goose.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you know
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyways, that's near there. That's what that town's famous for, I guess.
So they have a PA system though?
But yeah, if you're looking around, the town's a really small town. I think it's like population like 500 or 600 or something.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, they had like little speakers and stuff set up around the town. So I think that maybe it originated from like that.
Okay.
Kind of like old, like American.
Yeah.
1950s town.
Well, yeah. Also, because like back in like the 1950s, there were bomb threats.
Oh yeah.
Like, people always, if a nuclear missile comes, guys, duck and cover.
Duck and cover.
Yeah. Did you watch that in school too? Like when I was in history class, they played for us like an educational video of what to do when a nuclear bomb hits for high school students.
No, they didn't do that, but I remember during 9/11.
Okay.
I was in elementary school, so this is 2001. So I was probably 11 years old.
Yeah.
And so 9/11 happens, and we all got pulled from our classes, and they took us into a gym, and they're like, there could be chemical attacks on us at any second. Which, first of all, telling an 11-year-old kid that, probably not the smoothest way to go about doing that.
Right.
Just saying, hey guys, you're gonna die at any second.
Yeah,
that could happen. But yeah, so we were told to we got out like our little earthquake blankets and put that on ourselves.
You have what are earthquake blankets?
Oh, you didn't have like the earthquake
there are no
preparation.
So in Massachusetts, there are no earthquakes ever.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, they have them here in Japan, the little earthquake preparation kits also. But usually it's like some snacks, like a space blanket and like some other like basic survival stuff. Okay. So they had us get out our little space blanket and put that over us, and that was apparently supposed to protect us from a chemical attack.
Yeah.
You know, in the middle of nowhere in Washington.
Dude, that's
God.
Yeah.
But oh man. But yeah, a lot of like the announcement systems, like maybe. So I work in the center of Tokyo, so there's a whole bunch of embassies around me. So maybe that's why like it's being announced. But
so you get those announcements when you're at school.
Yeah. They don't do them like where I live, but down like in downtown Tokyo they do.
Yeah, well, where you work, if it's in that area, I'm sure they're on like heightened security all the time because of just all the embassies and all the important stuff down there.
Yeah,
up there. Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, if somebody were to attack Tokyo, it would be literally where I work. So.
Yeah, man. Well, it's funny. Like that's another thing that this is kind of going off the topic, but have you noticed how like randomly in the train they'll say like the police are on a heightened state of alert for terrorism. Yeah, please be careful. But I don't really see more police walking around.
No, because of it. It's one of those things of like beware of dog. Okay, but you don't necessarily have to have a dog, but just having the sign up like might deter somebody. You know,
it's so weird, man.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, it is kind of funny because like I want you want to think that like things are super safe here, and they probably are. There's a lot of security cameras everywhere, but like I feel like if I wanted to sneak onto a train with a weapon, it probably wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, it's funny though because like so people talk about, and we can talk about this on another episode, probably talking about the safety here. It would be cool, but so a lot of people talk about how safe Japan is, but I think one of the reasons Japan is so safe is because everyone's always watching everyone else, and kind of thing. Like when you think about the number of security police guys walking around, or like the cameras everywhere, or like they have like those eyes that they put on like abandoned buildings, say like we're watching you even though no one's watching you. Yeah, I think it's that whole mutual surveillance thing is what's keeping everything safe.
Yeah, I think that, and then crime is just not something I think people immediately resort to when they're kind of like down and out of luck. I think it's there's definitely a cultural thing here that kind of just it's not that crime doesn't happen. It's just it's not it doesn't appear to be as prevalent.
I get that too.
Yeah, it might be just because this is like a homogenized society. So
yeah,
I think what is it like the Northern European countries kind of have a similar situation.
Yeah. So on that note, though, we're about halfway through this, and we need to finish one more video.
Yeah,
so I think this will be a good way to stop here. I'll see you next time.
See you, man.